Welcome to Liesel's Artistic Studio. Today I'm going to show you how you can paint these beautiful roses with watercolors in just 3 steps. So let's get started, and don't forget to like and subscribe. All we need to get started with this painting is a piece of watercolor paper, a brush. Mine is a medium round brush with a nice point to it. Then we need watercolor paints. I'm only using 4 colors today. I've got sap green, yellow, pink, and pink mixed with a tad bit of purple. Then, of course, we need water and a paper towel. For our first step, we're going to create a fun background wash. So start by wetting down the center of your paper with water, and then while it's still wet, we're going to start adding in some colors. I'm going to put some pink in the general area that I want my roses to be painted. Now I think I'll add some yellow right next to that pink. I'll add some green down below where my leaves are going to be painted in later, and I think I'll throw in just a touch more pink and yellow here and there also. I'm really just letting this paint spread and mix on its own here, and your painting is going to look a little different than mine, but that's okay. After the colors have been placed, I'm going to soften some of the edges using my paper towel. Then while the paint is still a little wet, I'm going to create some splatter marks using pink at the top and green at the bottom by just flicking the bristles with my finger. I'm going to try to get some splatters on the wet paint where it will spread slightly, as well as on the dry part of the paper for some more defined splatters. Then let the background wash completely dry, and then you're ready for step 2. For this step, we're going to paint the first coat for the roses and leaves. So let's start by putting in some pink for the tops of the roses. These will be painted in sort of an egg shape. They might even look like tulips at first. I'm going to divide my roses in half with slanted sections. I want to keep some lighter areas on my rose, so I'm going to use my brush, dry it off with my paper towel, and just wipe some of that color out. You may have to do this 2 or 3 times. I'm going to use my dark pink for the darkest areas of the rose, which will be on one side of the slanted line as well as right at the top. Now I'm doing this all wet on wet, so some of the darks and lights might blend a little bit, but that's okay. These are just general marks and areas. In a few minutes, when we get to step 3, we will focus more on the details of the painting and emphasize some of these lines. After all of the tops of the roses have been generally placed, let's put in the stems as well as some of the leaves. Start with a circle of green that connects the rose to the stem, and then make a line downward for the stem itself. To make the leaves, start by making the branch line first. Put a leaf at the tip of the branch, and then 3 or 4 leaves alongside the branch. You'll probably want 3 or 4 branches of leaves as well. It also might be a good idea to make the leaves that are more in the back a little lighter in value by adding some water to your paint. For the last part of step 2, we need to add some greenery right around the base of the rose. This is important because this is what changes your flower from looking like a tulip to looking like a rose. This greenery will be skinny and pointy and will be on all sides of the flower. Put a couple of green points on the sides that look like they're coming from the back. We are finally now on to step 3, which is the last step to finish this beautiful painting off. Step 3 is the detail work that can turn a good painting into a great one. So let's start off by darkening that slanted line that divides your flower, as well as a few spots right at the tops of each of the flowers. And for the last thing, we're going to carefully paint on a few leaf veins on each leaf using just the very tip of your paintbrush. And here is your beautiful finished rose painting. I hope you had fun painting with me today, and if you enjoyed this tutorial, please consider subscribing to my channel so I can continue to help you discover your artistic side.